Welcome again to another video. My name is Stéphane Gonville and I have a website called freedomacademyhq.com where I help people overcome their shyness and their social anxiety. So today what I want to talk about is something called habituation, and I want to also explain why I think it's the best damn way that you can overcome your social anxiety or your shyness in the quickest manner possible. So what is habituation? Well, habituation is something that you do over and over and over again until you become habituated to the stimuli. So just think about something like you put on some sunglasses, you know, the dark tint one, and you're outside because the sun is really blaring, right? And you put some sunglasses on, and at first you're like, oh yeah, okay, everything is kind of darker, oh cool, okay. But how long does it take you to kind of forget that you have the sunglasses? Maybe not even a minute, right? So then you just go about your day and you do your stuff and you completely forget that you have your sunglasses. But then you go inside somewhere, maybe at a restaurant somewhere, and then you notice that, hey, I have my sunglasses because everything is way darker now. So, you know, you had habituated yourself to having your sunglasses. Something else that people have, just as an example of habituation. So one that is more closely related to social anxiety or shyness, or let's take social phobia, because that's in my book it's very similar to social anxiety and shyness. And okay, so let's say social phobia compared to having a car accident. Okay, so how does this habituation work? So if you had a car accident, like let's say it's a big car accident, and you know you've been traumatized by it and you felt really bad and you wouldn't want to drive, you know, because you've been scared, right? That accident has caused you to have something called a pain imprint, where now when you go driving you are scared, and you know it might take you a couple weeks, a couple months to be comfortable behind the wheel again. But eventually, with the process of constantly exposing yourself to what you're afraid of, you become habituated to that situation. Just even a simpler one. Do you drive a car? If you do, remember how shit scared you were first driving the car, okay? When you first learned how to drive a car. And now take that and compare it to how you feel now driving a car. I mean, you could be talking to someone beside you, you don't even care, it's all automatic, you know, because you've habituated yourself to that situation. Now, let's take your social anxiety, okay? I would advocate that the main reason why you have social anxiety right now is because you have not habituated yourself to social situations. Why? Because you keep avoiding it, okay? And, you know, I know I am very repetitive because I talk about avoidance strategies and control behaviors in almost all of my videos, but it's just so crucial for you to understand, you know. The reason why you have social anxiety today, okay, is because similar to a car accident, that in my car accident example, that has created a pain imprint on the person that's been in the accident, you have created a pain imprint because of, and this is not for it's not, you know, it's not super for everybody, it's not going to be the same thing, but for most people, probably for you, okay, I would advocate like 99% of people that have social anxiety, the reason why they have it is because in their past something caused a pain imprint, okay? So they've had a really bad social experience, or it's probably a couple of things that happen in a row that force them to try and avoid those situations because they have created a pain imprint. You've been to a social situation that was so bad that you started not wanting to do that stuff anymore, and you started avoiding that stuff, okay? So what this created is that it started to, you had a pain imprint, but you've never habituated yourself to overcoming that fear because you're in constant avoidance of those situations, right? So what you have to do to overcome your social anxiety is to habituate yourself to the stuff that you're afraid of now. So it's pretty simple, but you know, there's a couple steps to take here. So I mean, if you're afraid to be around people, if you're constantly nervous around other people, maybe because you fear that they judge you, or you just don't want to be embarrassed in front of everybody, or you don't want them to notice your anxiety, what you need to do is figure out what exactly it is that you're afraid of and habituate yourself to experiencing that a little bit. Because if you're constantly in avoidance mode and you always push back or fight, like you fight your anxiety and always try to avoid the situations that you're afraid of, you'll never give yourself the time or the experience that you need to habituate yourself to being around other people, to being in social situations, to develop that comfort, like, oh, it's just a walk in a park, I'm with friends right now, and it's not a big deal anymore. But that takes, you know, it takes time and repetition to constantly go in situations that you're afraid of. Just like that person that had that accident in the car, the first time they went in the car after their accident, their anxiety was through the roof. But you know, you do that 100 times, and after that, it's like, it's nothing. Okay, I've done it 100 times. Go in social situations 100 times, in social situations that you're afraid of 100 times, and I can promise you, your anxiety is going to be nothing like it is now. It's practically going to be gone. Okay, that's how I overcame my social anxiety. It's not the only thing. I also used mindfulness techniques to make this exposure a little bit easier on myself to bear, you know. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. Habituation is the #1 principle to learn in all of this, and I hope I made it a little bit more clear for you as to how you can overcome your social anxiety. Guys, so if you want to know exactly what I've done to overcome my social anxiety, I have the first link in my description box. There's a little link there, and if you click it, it's going to show you the exact 2 things that I've done to overcome my social anxiety. So if you don't know me from my previous videos, I was housebound for 10 months. And I couldn't even get out of the house without drinking booze. I mean, I've completely changed my life, and I can share with you exactly what I've done. Also guys, thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next vid.